Hey guys, here's my tutorial for the crochet pumpkin. As you can see, I've got one here already made. We'll be making this size, which is the small pumpkin, and it's the ones you would have done in the workshop. And all of the techniques are basically the same for the larger pumpkin as well, okay? So I've got my crochet hook, which is 6mm, which corresponds with the type of yarn I've got, which is Stylecraft Special Chunky. I've got a darning needle, a stitch marker, which is very important, and a pair of scissors. Okay, so let's get started. So I'll be showing you how to start this with the chain method, and then also how to increase as well. Okay, so first of all, if you're able to chain 4, so we're going to do a slip knot, okay, tighten it up on your hook, and then chain 4. So chain is yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, okay, until you have 4. Now you can count it with the V's or with the bumps, okay, so I'll just get my darning needle to show you. So these are the V's here, and these are the bumps, okay, so I've definitely got 4. And then to turn this into a little circle, I'm going to slip stitch into the first chain, okay? So right in the middle, yarn over, pull through, and then the first loop through the second loop. So we're creating a slip stitch, okay? So that's our little circle. The reason why I'm doing the chain method for the little pumpkins is because it'll leave us with a circle at the end. So we'll have room for a cinnamon stick or a twig. All right, if we were doing a magic ring, you wouldn't have that. It would be fully closed. And there's a tutorial on my YouTube as well of how to do the magic ring, okay? But the next part of this round is for 6 double crochets now in the middle. So you can always take your crochet hook out and give it a little bit of a shimmy, and you can find the middle, okay? And we want to do 6 double crochets in there. So you're going to go in the middle, yarn over, pull through to the front, and then yarn over, pull through 2, okay? And all your V's are going to end up around the edge, and you're working from right to left like we normally do, okay? So in this case, because we're working in a circle, it's anti-clockwise. All right, so we're going to do another one, go in, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, okay? And you want 6 all together. Okay, so if you're unsure of how many you've got, you can work backwards and count your V's. Okay, I'll take my crochet hook out. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and this little gap here is the chains that we made at the start. All right, so it can get a little bit confusing on the first round, but always count backwards from your crochet hook, and then you get your 6. And once you found the first one, pop your stitch marker in, okay, because that's very important now working in the round, because this is going to be the first stitch of every round. All right, now moving on to our second round now. Just get some more yarn. Okay, so this is our first increase row, and we're going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch. So essentially taking out 6 double crochets up to 12. All right, so I like to work the first stitch fully, okay, and then pop my stitch marker back in. So I'm going to do 2 stitches in here. So you're going to go yarn in, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so double crochet. So and again in, yarn over, and then yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so I've got my 2 in there. So I'm going to count back 1 and 2, and that's my first stitch of the round. Okay, also as well, so you can double check how many are in that one stitch, is every stitch has a top part to it and a post. So you've got your 2 V's here, 1, 2, and then underneath you can see going in this stitch will be 4 little strands, because there's 2 little strands to every stitch. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've definitely got 2 in that stitch. Okay, so let's carry on. So you're going to go in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and then in the same stitch do another double crochet. Okay, I'll keep going in and around. One, two, and then you want to make your way and work the stitch before the stitch marker. So this is going to be my last stitch of the round now. So make sure the stitch marker's out of the way. It's 1, 2. Okay, fab. So I'll just count them for the tutorial purposes. All right, you don't really need to count them. If you're 1 or 2 out, that's fine. If it does look a little bit odd, then please count just to double check you're not about 10 out, okay? And also maybe if you want to just check, it's completely fine. Like I just make sure that I'm come back to this point and I've done 2 in every stitch, and then that's all right with me. But for the tutorial, I'll just count them. So we should have 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Fab. Okay, so round 3 now is going to be our next increase row. So we want to, all of our increase rows go up to round 6, okay? This is for the small pumpkin. It does change slightly for the larger one. And on this row is where we start doing something slightly different. So we're actually going to incorporate a different stitch now called double crochet in the back loop only. All right, this is what gives us these little segments. So you can see these 6 segments of the pumpkin, and it gives us these little loops as well here. So when we're working in the back loop only, it leaves the front loop open, okay? And then it around the pattern then we're creating little segments and we're increasing them out then, all right? Because at the end we're going to sew up these and pull it and create a little pumpkin shape, all right? So it's very important to keep note of these little front loops and make sure you're doing your back loop stitches correctly, all right? So I like to work in little repeat phrases, okay? So this one for round 3 is in the back loop, and then the next stitch is increase. So that's 2 double crochets in that stitch, okay? So to go in the back loop, this is your front loop and this part is your back loop. So we're just going to go in the middle of the V, out the back, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, okay? And then, because I've worked that first stitch, put my stitch marker back in. Now moving on to the next stitch, that's an increase, so we're going to have 2 in there. 1, 2. Okay, and that little repeat, we want to keep going and repeat that all the way around. So it's back loop and then 2. Okay, back loop and then 2. So yarn over, pull through, go, 2 double crochets, then our next stitch is back loop, back loop, and then 2, and then I've got 2 more repeats, okay? So it's in the back loop, and then 2, actually I need to double check. It's back loop. Oh, I made a little mistake. Okay. Back loop and then 2. I did 1 and then I did 2 in the next one. Oh, it's making all these pumpkins, that's what it is. Okay, so I've gone back, corrected that, and then we're going to back loop. And then 2. Okay, and you can gradually see the circle now, it's getting bigger and bigger. So up to round 6 is where we increase, and that's where we stop, and that gives us the actual size of the pumpkin then. And then rounds 7 to 10 is where we are creating the height of the pumpkin then. All right, so oh, have you done something wrong again? No, that's cool. Let me double check my stitches. So you've got back loop, and then 2, back loop, and then 2, back loop, 2, back loop, 2, back loop, and I did another back loop. Ugh. And then 2. It's not only you guys that make mistakes, I do this all the time. And then we got a back loop and 2 to finish. All right, fab. So on round 4 now, you'll see another little repeat section, okay? So the double crochet in the back loops, they are the same stitch in every round. And what we're doing is that we're increasing the space between the back loop stitch and the increase stitch, okay? So I'll just get some different coloured stitch markers now for you. So I want all the same colours. If I just pick these yellows, yellowy green. Okay, and then I'll show you a little trick. So if you've got some spare stitch markers at home and you're finding this slightly daunting of trying to, you know, oh, where are my back loops? I have no idea. Then I'll show you a little trick, okay? So this stitch I know is my back loop, and then I did 2 stitches in between. So I'm going to skip 2, and then this is my back loop stitch, okay? And I'm going to do that all the way around. So I'll end up with 6 stitch markers. And that's for 1 for every back loop, okay? And the reason why I'm using different coloured stitch markers is because the pink one is my start of the round, all right? So put these in, and then got 1 more. Okay, so you can see all the different sections now, and I'll just compare it here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all right? This is the beginning. And what we're doing up to row 6 is we're increasing this gap because we want to kind of fan it out and make a bigger circle, okay? So our next little repeat is going to be in the back loop, then 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets for an increase, okay? So I like to say it as back loop, 1, and then 2. All right, so let's do round 4. So back loop, 1, and then 2, 1, 2. Okay, now I've worked 4 stitches, so you need to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's my back loop stitch there. Okay, so you can see we've increased by 1 stitch now. So instead of it having 2 between the stitch markers, it's now 3. Okay, so we'll carry on around that round. So I'll take my next stitch marker out. So we've got back loop, 1, and then 2. And I'll go back 4, 2, 3, 4, pop it back in. If you want to put your stitch marker back in straight away after you've worked that back loop, then please do. It's completely up to you what technique you use, okay? You don't have to do my technique. It's just the way I like to do it, all the little repeats, and then go back and pop it in, okay? Also, if I'm crocheting too fast for you, there is like a slow down button on YouTube that you can use. So it's on the bar where you've got the play button. So just have a little look at that, and it does really help instead of having to rewind and play and all that, all right? So we're on a back loop, then we're on 1, and then 2. Pop that in. Some more yarn. 2 more repeats. Brilliant. So we've got back loop, one, and then 2, and then our final repeat. So 1 back loop, sorry, 1, and then 2 in the next stitch. Okay, so you can see our circles got bigger again, and the space between stitch markers all got bigger as well. The magic of increasing, I love it. Okay, so the next rounds 5 and 6, okay, basically we're just doing what we've just done. So we're going to be increasing this space and following little repeats all the way around for them, okay. Round 5 is back loop, then 1, 1, and then 2, okay, so we're increasing it up to 4 stitches between the markers. And then round 6 will be 1, 1, 1, and then 2, okay, so you'll have 5 stitches between the markers. All right, once you get to round 6, round 7 through to 10 is just back loop, then 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches, so it'll be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, back loop, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around for 4 rounds, okay. So I hope that helps, showing you this little tip as well, and also how to increase. So you're just popping those 2 double crochets in the same stitch, and go on to my next tutorial, which will be showing how to decrease and then to sew up them. All right, thanks guys, bye.